golf or golf balls seem to come in an enormous variety of jokey forms. I think possibly people at the 19th hole, as they call the clubhouse, where they repair after a round of golf, of 18-hole golf course, like to exchange pleasantries, and all these are items I've picked up over many years of searching for joke items, fun items. Some of them are useful training items actually, but all golf balls. One of the earliest I ever received was this little wind-up one, for instance. When you put it on the green and hit it with a club, it walks and plops into the hole as a little joke item. It's random, but that's the idea of it. That's Cincinnati, Ohio people. Another one here, which is the oldest, I think, and it's the only one that really is still currently available. It's never disappeared. It's a fragile, almost shell-like golf ball with a powder inside, and when you hit it very hard, it becomes a white cloud and instantly disappears. So you put it on your opponent's tee unsuspectingly, and of course they get quite a shock when it happens. This one, I think, was a key fob originally, because when you take off the top, it becomes a little telescope by which you can look at the green and see if you can spot your ball in the rough. That was a nice one, but that's quite useful as opposed to jokey. And this one here is pure joke. It's a half golf ball, and it is affixed to this material here and appears on a person's screen or window or something like that, as if it's been hit into the glass is shattered, and just half the ball is embedded on the outside, the other half is supposedly on the inside. So it's a nice little practical joke to play on someone, perhaps in their car, in a car park. One or two are getting more sensible. This one here, for instance, I've never tried it because I play almost no golf at all. When you hit it hard, it spins in a certain way, and depending on how it's spinning, this way or this way or this way, will tell you which way it is spinning, because you can look at the colour of the thing. The primary colours add up into the three subcolours, depending on how it's spinning. And as an antidote to that, this device here would stop it spinning altogether. It's an anti-spin tee. When you hit the ball, and if you're hitting it with a club and the club is slicing like this, it should normally make the ball spin as it goes out, but this stops the spin and just gives it a hard impulse forwards, so the golf ball will go in a very true direction, straight forwards. More jokes. This Japanese one has got little streamers embedded on the inside. This one is a very hard plastic which behaves almost as good as a golf ball, but there's a hole going through the centre, and with a tiny little light stick you can make it shine in the dark so you can see what you're doing. Even more jokey perhaps is this one here. They call it the unwary fairy. So it's supposedly a poor little fairy that's been flattened by a golf ball by somewhere in the green. Poor little thing. Then a little more enjoyable and fun. This one here is a very, very nicely made golf ball, which is a jigsaw puzzle and comes apart in a beautiful presentation case with a tee and all. But it's quite a tricky thing to put together once you've done it. It's 8 pieces. And you have to be able to put them in the back order to establish the jigsaw. This one is just, again, a little joke. It's got it's one of those little bugs inside. And then they can put any number of faces and customizations on golf balls. This one is George Bush, but I've seen others much more elaborately than that. There's plenty of those. A nice, a very early one for me was this little device here, which you place it secretly into the golf hole, and when the person's golf ball trickles into the hole, this thing triggers and it pops up out of the hole again. There's a little leprechaun inside who doesn't like a golf ball hitting their head, and out it comes again. This one could be a joke, and yet it could be a sensible item as well. It's a kind of firework made in Taiwan. When you hit it hard, it ignites the firework, and out of the little portholes here comes either blue or red smoke. Well, either you could do that as a joke, or in still air, I suppose, you could get your instructor to stand aside, and as you hit the golf ball, they can see from the smoke trail how high or low you're making your first driving shots. So there might be a bit of sense in that one. Plenty of golf balls which are gift shop items. This one is made of soap. I've also seen white chocolate versions of golf balls. There's plenty of those around. This one is quite a tricky little puzzle. You've got to get this golf ball out of the jar, and the neck of the jar is just too small. You are given a little bit of purple cloth, a silk handkerchief to do it with, and you've got to work out the trick of doing it. This one, which we did sell on our site till recently, it's a lovely idea. It's a camouflage golf ball, something you've never seen before, and when you hit it in the rough, you'll never see it again. Complete opposite of what should happen to golf balls, of course. A very bizarre idea, which was quite sensible, they put a lot of money into this, was this thing called golfcross.com. I think it's still available. It was a New Zealand company, and once they got the funding, they persuaded Penfold, who are reputable golf ball manufacturers based in Birmingham, to make this bizarre-looking ball looking like a rugger ball. And when you hit it on a special tee, it would spin like a military shell and get a very true trajectory, or you could get it to curve. And you hit it not into a hole, but into a kind of net like this. And you'd have 18 nets instead of 18 holes around the golf course. But again, you could have a bit of fun with this and pretend when your friend hit his ball into the sand, into a bunker, pick this up and say, is this your ball? To make a good laugh. But it behaves, as well as any golf ball. This one I've never tried, but the idea is a nice one. It's a golf ball with a drogue or parachute behind it. And the idea is that it will, if you try to drive it hard on a tee, instead of going 70 yards, which it might with a good hard drive, it'll go 1/10 of that, 7 yards. And this parachute acts as a braking device, but it acts very consistently. So you can turn your little backyard into an enormous golf course, but of course it's not. And I think that's a lot. But, of course, the screaming one. But we put it on the tee, and when you tap it like that, it screams. What else could a ball do? So there are many, many strange ideas. I'm sure there's another 24 if you really look amongst the world of the golfing fraternity. I think it's wonderful just how many ideas are here.